At first, there was nothing but darkness. Earth was a lifeless rock, but in that darkness dwelt a god, Mveli, whose voice was like thunder and who, when angered, would shake the world with earthquakes. Mveli created a single tiny seed and sent it to the earth. This seed was the very first life from which all other life descended. It landed in the soil and sprouted into a long grass. This grass dropped more seeds, which fell off and grew into even more grasses. This continued until they covered a massive swamp to the north, the land called Uthlanga. At the tip of one grass, there grew a man. His name was Unkulunkulu, known as the first ancestor and the great one. Very small at first, he grew so large and heavy that he snapped off the end of the grass. Walking across the land of Uthlanga, he noticed men and women were sprouting at the ends of the other grasses. He picked them from the grasses. These people were the first humans, the ancestors of all nations, and they spread across the earth. It was from Uthlanga that the ancestors of the Zulu journeyed south to the fertile lands they inhabit today. The Great One continued to walk among the grasses. He saw many forms of life growing at the end of them. He gathered the fish and flung them into the rivers. Fields and forests began to grow, so he harvested the birds and antelope, and they darted off into the wild. He picked cattle so they could be used by humans. He plucked off a ball of fire and the round glowing stone and flung them into the sky. These were the sun and the moon. Light came into the world. The Great One also plucked from the grasses fierce lions and other beasts that would travel the lands hunting prey. He harvested magical creatures, some good and some bad. After plugging off the birds, animals, and humans, he then began to create the mountains, the lakes, valleys, the elements such as wind, rain, the sun, and the moon. Unkulunkulu also taught men and women how to hunt, make fire, and how to clothe themselves. When he was done with everything, he decided to send a chameleon into the village to warn his people that they will never die. But the chameleon was moving very slow to do his mission. After several days had passed, the Great One grew impatient and picked a different lizard from the grasses. The lizard was fast and quickly arrived to give the word to the humans. But the lizard did not bear the same instructions. Instead, the lizard uttered the words, "Men must die." And so from that day, humans became mortal. It is said that chameleons change color because they are so ashamed their ancestor was not fast enough to spare humankind the invention of death. The Great One was so powerful in all he created. Many Zulus even suspect he was the god who sent the seed to earth in the first place, and that he used it to transform himself into flesh and blood. This is the Zulu creation story. I hope you enjoyed it. There are other versions of this same story, but they all have similarities. What do you think about this story? Just drop your comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye.